and I'm used to being in the house with my sisters, loud. Hope will walk into a room and scream. Like, I'm used to that. I'm not used to just me and my thoughts alone. Oh, they're just running through my brain like a Tomb Raider. Like, it's just consistent. Like,
hi, y'all. My name is Denasia, and I'm a 22-year-old type A Black girl from Las Vegas who just moved to New York City last year to work for L'Oreal as a financial analyst.
Hey, y'all. My name is Faith, and I'm a 23-year-old type A Black girl from AZ living in Denver, working remotely for Cisco as a business analyst.
This season is finally here, and we can't wait to share more about our personal lives, working big girl jobs,
relationships, and life in general as type A Black girls. Hope you enjoy.
Hi, guys. Welcome to season 9.
Yeah, type A Black girls. Yeah. First episode, okay?
Yeah, we need a jingle.
No, we're going to make one up tonight because we got some time.
We sure do. So, guys, this is our first episode back in the studio.
Yes, ma'am.
Faith flew in today.
Yeah.
We've been moving.
Denasia walked in like she just got recently divorced. Like,
bro,
literally a minute before she walked in, she was like, girl.
Threw my bag down like an angry housewife. I sat down.
Like, these people didn't even feed me. I was like, oh, what?
No, literally. I had to do a half day. And we had to go and like do a tour of a site and everything. So like I was anticipating going into the office today because I was like, on filming days, I'm not trying to go into the city twice or do anything twice. So yeah, but today I had to go in and I was rushing because my Uber driver's driving slow. He don't got no charger. I'm texting Faith about this episode. My phone dies in the middle of the Uber ride. He talk about, I don't got that type of charger.
This is the main one. You need this one, bro. Like, what?
Meanwhile, his phone is charging.
iPhone?
Yes.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I hate when people lie. So I was like, maybe he don't got my type, but either way.
Yeah.
Still. So we were just rushing. I literally got ready in like maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Ate a sandwich and some chips, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. This is gonna be a fun episode. We switched it literally an hour ago.
Yes.
Because our guest couldn't come today.
Very, very last minute.
Very, very tight P. But I mean, it's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
The girlies actually asked for this episode. But before we get to the episode, we do have some classroom announcements, moms.
Yes. So we are gonna have a new format for our Patreon. I know we said last season that we're going to do all questions answered on the Patreon and da-da-da-da, but at the moment, we got about 6 loyal subscribers. So to all 6 of you, we love you.
Shout out to y'all, for real.
Pay them $3.
Pay them $3.
Okay? But for the rest of you.
Yeah.
The tweeters and the leaders.
Okay.
The what does Drake say?
What? You would know.
Bro.
Not me. I can tell you that right now.
Anyway, to the rest of you.
Yeah.
We decided we're not going to do questions on the Patreon because we haven't gotten any questions since we said that.
Oh, it was like
radio silence.
No, literally.
So I said, the girlies do not like that.
No.
So we're listening, we're taking notes, and we said, okay, we're going to bring back questions happening live during this episode. So you're going to have some that we're going to read off during the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
So continue submitting your questions. It's going to be in the link tree and the description of this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube, which I hope you are.
That part.
Or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple.
Facts.
Also, please get us to 300 subscribers. We started this YouTube channel like last 2 seasons ago.
That sounds right.
So we're trying to get to 300. We're at 290 filming this right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go ahead and do our outfit of the day.
Yeah. So these are ones. They are red and blue. So feeling real hip hop today. These pants are from Fashion Nova. This top, I was like trying to figure out what like my outfit should be, and I was on the FaceTime with Kelly and actually stole this crop top from her like a lot of summers ago, and I was like, do you notice anything different? And she's like, my crop top? And I was like, yeah. So I just love stealing my friends' clothes. But yeah, and then Shein, probably Forever 21. And Hair by Hope on Instagram.
Period.
What about you, moms?
Period. These shoes are Reebok. I think I got them from Amazon. This set is from Addicted.
Oh, I love them.
Love them down. Yeah. Cute little lounge wear. And then I'm only wearing one earring because y'all can't see the other side, and I was rushing. So
real.
These are from Amazon.
Very, very, very.
Oh my God, moms! Let's talk about what happened on the way up here.
I've never seen so many men other than Miami. It felt like the streets of Miami.
It really felt like we were in South Beach.
Bro, I don't know. And South Beach, it was like black men. No, these were ethnic men.
We had a variety.
Bro, literally, we get out, we walk up the stairs from the subway, and it's just like men on top of men on top of men.
And I'm talking about they're lined up on each street. Like we turn the corner and they're I don't know if it's because it's getting hot.
And it's not even hot.
But when it gets over 50, people start coming outside. That's
pretty freaking crazy. I'm staying my butt inside. But no,
okay.
They were selling wallets, they were selling purses, there was a whole bunch of knockoff stuff. And then this guy was like, it pains me when we get stopped at like a stop sign or like a red light because we're gonna get accosted.
And we just have nowhere to go. We know we gotta cross the street. He know we gotta cross the street.
But he like, yo want some weed? I'm like, no.
We're good.
No. Thanks. Literally, thank you so much. It's like, you got a boyfriend? And then they just like,
I said, what did I say? Okay, he was like, he asked you, do you want some weed? Then he was like, oh, you got a boyfriend? I said, yeah. He said something else, and I said, yeah. He said, oh, so you not good?
I said, no,
we're good.
Literally good.
No boyfriend.
No, as we're walking away, I was like, we're starting our why would you say, like, it's very type P. We're starting why would you say that now.
Right.
Mom, what did he say?
So he was like, we walking away. He was like, well, you let me know because I'll take you out to lunch and I'll eat you for dinner.
Why would you say that?
Why would you say that?
That makes me itch. Like, you look like you haven't taken a shower in a few days. Like, that makes me...
Bro, I said, no way he just said that.
I literally when I find something funny, I will hold on to somebody. I grabbed Mom's hands and I was like, let's just freak go. I can't do this anymore.
Mind you, we crossed the street just to encounter 30 more. 30 more lined up on the wall. I was like, what is in the air today? But needless to say, it's been a time just to get here today. We are happy to be here.
That part.
It was a journey.
At the very least.
Our question of the week. It's crazy because we can tell who wrote the question based on who has like the answer already scripted out. Mm-hmm. Our question is, if it was the purge that happened today, what crime would you commit and or crimes?
So I actually had to look it up because I was like, my brain isn't coming up with anything. And I was like, okay, well, I looked it up on Reddit and like Quora, and they were like, I would burn down all the student loan buildings.
You know they gonna go virtual and remote.
Bro, literally. So I was like, that's not gonna do anything. So I was like, I think I would need to like rob a bank, of course, get a whole bunch of money, and just pay off my student loans. I really don't care about nobody else. You gotta be selfish, okay? We only got 24 hours.
Right.
I don't got time to find a hacker, okay?
Right. We all got the same 24.
No, literally. I mean, get this money, pay that $234 hurts me every month.
$234. Girl, I thought you went $234,000. I said, I'm in pain too. I said, ASU really? They didn't upped it.
At Harvard. No. So yeah, that $234 really hits me. And the thing is, I was paying $150 every month. And then I don't know, I was like, I did forbearance for a few months, and then they were like, they re-looked at my salary and they were like, yeah, you can afford more. Are you kidding me? Who's $80 more? You kidding? Right. $84 more? So yeah, I would do student loans, and then that's really it. Like, I'm like, what do I spend my money on? It's really student loans. Like, that's really it. But Moms, because we know this is your question, what?
I got a list of places I'm going that night.
Yeah.
First stop, we robbing a beauty supply store. I'm grabbing every color, 1B, 2, 6, 13, every bundle I can think of. I'm grabbing the whole lip stock, the whole lipstick, and
lip gloss.
Case, you know the one. Mm-hmm. I'm grabbing the case. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I'm committing fraud. I'm already knowing. I will probably do identity fraud and just create a fake person
and just go ham.
A fake social security number. And I'm about to just start opening accounts and I don't even got to spend it on Denaja's name.
Because that's going to hurt.
That's going to hurt.
After that 24 hours.
Okay. Yeah. I'm creating someone else and they going to be in bad debt. Mm-hmm. Not me though.
Sick, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm probably going to commit some type of crime that just gets me unlimited credit card points.
Points were made.
Points?
Literally.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm thinking that covers travel, that covers shopping, that covers everything.
Yeah, wow, you really thought this one through.
Oh, girl. I think I just sat up one night like, Because, the way this country's headed, it might happen. You just never can say never.
I'm going to be shivering in my timbers, okay?
Girl.
This is
not
really
hypothetical. Stay on your toes. I'm prepared. Y'all be ready.
I'm going to be underneath that bed. Okay.
I just don't understand why people's first thought was like, murder.
Yeah,
like with the movie?
Like you guys have been thinking about this for a minute.
There's just no way crime is legal. And my first thought is, let me go kill someone.
Blood? I think that's my big
Like,
thing.
who do you have it out for that bad?
That bad? Who? Like, you have some real
When there's money to be made.
Yeah, let's rob a bank. Like, no,
God.
everybody's gone. Like, they're doing their crimes. Let's go ahead and get. I mean, they might not have a job after that 24 hours because all the money gone. But
you spending money to go buy masks and terrorize people.
No,
some white people shit.
No,
couldn't be me.
Okay. But okay, so this episode we're going to be talking about how to be alone. During our last book club reading, a few of the girlies came. I think Denasia, I think you had a headache or something. You were sick.
I could not make it, but I heard all about it. You guys had a really good girl talk and talked about life.
We talked about 7 husbands for all of 15, 20 minutes. And then the other 40 minutes, because Google only gives us an hour, we were just like chopping it up. Like, how's your life going? Let me see a tour of your new apartment. How's the kids? Because one of the girls is a teacher. Like, it was just like real. I was like,
girl talk.
This is what the book club should be. 20 minutes of the book and then 40 minutes of life. Like, this is fun. And then I was like, hey, y'all, like, for the new episode, what do y'all want to see? And they were like, how to be alone. Like, how to safely be alone as a woman, because people are crazy, specifically men. And we just want to know how to be alone. I was like, that's getting added.
And that topic eats, because I think a lot of us can relate, but it's just not something that I don't think is really heavily talked about.
No, because it's like, you learn as you go.
Right.
That's really it. We don't have like...
There's no guidebook.
Exactly. Especially because we're big sisters. Like, for me, I can bestow like, oh, this is what you should do to my little sisters. But like, I didn't have nobody to ask.
Right.
I could like complain to my mom and she'd be like, welcome. She'll just say welcome.
This is life. Yeah.
I don't want to be welcomed. I actually hate it here.
Right.
I literally hate it here. But Mom's first question, how long have you been living alone / when did you start living alone?
So I've been living alone since September 22. So coming up on 2 years. That's crazy to say. Coming up on 2 years. I started living alone when I first moved out here. So before that, I was at home. And I will say I'm really glad that I moved out later, because I just can't imagine me living like on my own younger than what I was, honestly. I don't think anything can prepare you, but I do think there's a certain level of maturity that comes with moving out a little bit later. Yeah. And you kind of are like more grounded in who you are, which I think was really important when I moved across the freaking country. Because New York is a scary place. Facts. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in the wrong things if you let it. But yeah, so I've been living alone for 2 years now, and a lot to unpack there, because I didn't really know what to expect. Yeah. And no one really told me. So... But I also didn't know what to ask, to be honest. You don't know what you don't know. Right. That's really it. For me, like, I started living alone July of 22. Yeah. I moved to North Carolina, so we both moved across the country. What season was that? 5, 6? The ones where it's like moving in details. Life change. Just scroll down a little bit on Spotify, and you'll see it. But I moved to North Carolina, and it was between moving to San Jose, California, Austin, Texas, or Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was like, where can my money stretch the most? Yeah, North Carolina. Now, I didn't know Austin was an option. Yeah, I didn't want to go. And then also another thing was I knew I at least had one friend in North Carolina. Oh. For my internship. Yeah. So I was like, and she was cool. I was like, hey, okay, we cool. And I hung up with her a few times, but I just, going from family to no family, that one friend can make a break. No, that is your family now. Exactly. Right. And like, I went to her house, like I knew her family, like she was a call away, want to go thrifting, like really cool girl, you know? Yeah. So, but yeah, moved in July. I had July's rent, but I didn't have August, so I started babysitting in order to make that money. And that was a struggle in and of itself. You can also hear that struggle during that season as well, because I didn't know where that money was coming from. It was a lot going on at once. That between like running your credits and what the deposit will be. And if you think you saved enough to move on your own, think again and save more. Save an extra $2,000, because the way that I was booking long-term Airbnbs, because I literally did not have a place to stay. Yeah. Like no apartment. Yeah. And I was like, I don't even know what a borough is, girl. I'm Googling where to go, what to do. That part. All the apartments are catfishes. Crazy. Crazy. The stories we can tell. Yeah, child. But what was the hardest part for you? I know you're not living alone now, but when you were, like, what was the hardest part of doing that? Yeah, and if you're a first-time listener, I currently do live with my fiance. I moved in May of 2023, so I basically had a full year to live by myself, and that's needed. Before you move in with any man, live on your own. Like, I promise you, the money you save
won't be worth it if you don't even at least have that year.
Yeah. It stabilizes you.
It really is like, what is important to me? You see what I'm saying? But I think the hardest part was coming home to nobody and emptiness. And I knew North Carolina was never going to be my forever home. And growing up, I would always move every single year. So like I've lived a very nomadic life. So I really hate decorating because I'm like, I'm not staying here for long. So what's the point of decorating? I despise decorating. Also, I'm not aesthetic and I want everything to be perfect. So I just don't. I don't do it. I know I should, but that's a whole nother thing. But also it's like, I come home from work, I drop off my bag, and it's just empty. I didn't buy a couch. I had a bed probably 9 out of the 12 months I was there. You know, like I was living on a blow-up bed for about the first 3 months because beds are expensive. Goodness gracious.
Forget that. Let's talk about the rugs. Why are rugs that much?
I did not get a single. My house was so empty, you would think nobody lived in there unless you went into the room.
But
you saw.
Yeah, she called it her dance studio.
Yeah, bro, I had nothing in there.
I said, we in here doing pirouettes.
Bro, there's no reason for me to get a couch. Nobody's coming over. Like, if I really wanted company, I would go to India's house a few minutes down the road. But, like, I think it was just emptiness. And I'm used to being in the house with my sisters. Loud. Hope will walk into a room and scream. Like, I'm used to that. I'm not used to just me and my thoughts alone. Oh, they're just running through my brain like a Tomb Raider. Like, it's just consistent. Like, the type A-ness in that brain is just like, oh, we can do this and you do that and what?
Girl, stop.
Shut up. Shut that mouth up, please. But also coming from a decently sized family to me, my 2 sisters, and my mom. The year before I went to college, my mom made me cook like a lot because she was like, "You're not gonna go to college and not learn how to cook." I have a meal plan, like what? But like
I'm eating at the DC.
No, like what? So I was like, literally, like I had to learn how to cook for one. I wasted so much food. I don't know how to cook for one. Like it's so freaking hard.
I'm still wasting food because I just can't, like, there's no portions, even on recipes that are suitable for one person. I will say that's why I like Trader Joe's though. Trader Joe's is the perfect place to shop for like little like meals if you're one person. Yeah. But I'm still learning how to not waste food. It's to the point where I don't even order in bulk anymore. I literally will shop for the week.
Oh yeah, I stopped shopping in bulk. I had to shop for the week. Because it's just
like, it literally just goes to waste.
Oh yeah, and I hate wasting. Like I hate wasting so much. But yeah, like cooking for one, that was really hard. When you live alone, but also just in your 20s, you're gonna eat a lot of cereal. Like a lot. Like,
hot and cold. I done turned to an oatmeal girl. I'm gonna make some grits. I never used to eat grits like that until I
for dinner
alone. No.
Oh no, I'm talking about main meals. Like I don't want to cook tonight. I'm eating.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, for girl dinner. Yeah, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
Crackers and cheese,
bro. And I be feeling like such. Like now I'm living with Dammy. Like I be feeling like such. Like wow, can we just eat cereal tonight? And he'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, perfect.
Thank God. It's just, that's one of the hardest things that they don't tell you about being an adult. Having to figure out what to eat every day.
Every single day. And
I wish I just had a button I could just press on myself, like feed. Like I'm a sim.
No, but the thing, the feed is paying something on Grubhub or something, Uber Eats, and now I'm paying an $8 surcharge fee. Like,
and then I get it and it's not that good.
And it's cold and it's like,
bro, post DoorDash clarity.
It's like, this is actually.
Do I actually want this?
I just spent $35 on a $12 meal, bro.
I'd be like, this was expired.
No, bro. I never comment. I just be like, okay, I guess I gotta eat this for lunch.
No. There's been a few times where I've gotten it and it's been disgusting and I'm like, I'm getting my money back. I will go into the chat bots.
Oh yeah, no, I've never done that.
No, because sometimes Jersey service, they be playing. You know, remember we got that Ani ramen and you're like, yeah, I didn't like this. Yeah, I was like, it tastes better in person. If you get it delivered, sometimes they just don't care.
Oh, they're like, you can't see us,
right?
So, okay, I mean that definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, Indonesia had put this on the dock, and I was like, points are made. Paying all my bills and then hoping to have leftover money. Because literally in the beginning, I contributed so much to my Roth and my 401k. Let's say I was making like $1,400 every 2 weeks. My rent was $1,581. So I would have to make sure that I like one whole paycheck and then some of that next paycheck was for rent. And then I'm like, and then utilities. And then, I actually want to go out. But then like Ubers and like drinks and all that stuff. And I'm just like, and I still got, like, I don't got time for hobbies. And realistically, the podcast was a hobby, but up until like a few months ago, I never considered the podcast a hobby, but we spend money and we...
I think so too.
Yeah.
No, I never considered it a hobby either, because I think people will like classify hobbies as like knitting or like, I don't know.
Recipes.
What do people do?
Yeah, no, exactly. Skating. Yeah.
Right, yeah. But I was like, wait, this is a hobby. This is like a passion project.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
We love yapping, and we're making a career
hobby
out of it. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But right now it's a hobby. But yeah, I think those big things was coming home to nobody, learning how to cook for one, and then paying all my bills, because I had to get real stringent. And y'all know I'm a budgeter, but like it was real like, okay, well, we got this $1,400 paycheck. I need to make sure I have $181 and then some, because you got the garage fee and the garbage fee and all the pool fee. Like this wasn't on the initial website when I make sure y'all credit is good before you leave home, please.
That too.
That deposit is gonna be crazy. Crazy.
Bro, looking back, I'm really mad that if y'all don't know and you're new listening and you haven't like listened to our past episodes, I got into a really bad car incident right before, like 2 weeks before I moved here. Yeah, to the point where my car was totaled. It was a hit and run, and I was like, oh great, I just lost my car.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily they paid me out, so I was able to use that money towards moving.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, had that not happened, like I genuinely don't know where I expected that money to come from, because I worked a whole internship the summer before I moved to save up.
Yeah.
And had to be like, sorry guys, I'm not gonna take the full-time offer. Like I really just needed money this summer.
Yeah.
But I was just like, it was so expensive. Like to get a guarantor because I didn't have any rental history.
Ugh.
As if I'm buying a house.
Yeah, no, the guarantor for an apartment is
For
crazy.
a studio apartment is sick work. Like all the expenses, like the deposit, the money to turn the utilities on. Like if you're thinking about moving out, please save whatever you think you need. Add an extra like $4,000 on that.
Yeah,
depending on where you're going, and if you have help from your parents.
Those are two huge keys. But if you don't, listen to our past episodes, because I think we put in depth like what we thought how much we needed to save and how much we actually spent, and the Nage was definitely out there. Goodness,
looking back, I'm like, oh my God. And I think about the fact that I was unemployed during COVID and I was getting unemployment, and I'm like, where did that money go, Denasia? Because bro, it went to paying off my last couple semesters, because I had a scholarship that covered me up until like senior year. I actually did save a lot of that towards that. But yeah, I was like, I'm determined to graduate debt free. Yeah. And I did. Yeah. But now I'm about to take on more loans when I go to grad school. So it really didn't do anything.
No, but I mean, at least it's not tacking on to what your undergrad is. Not a lot of people can say they're graduating undergrad debt free, other than athletes, for real.
For real.
And like super smart. You see what I'm saying? The ones that just get like all this money because they got crazy grades. You see what I'm saying?
Literally. And that's what I had up until junior year.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy that they stopped it.
Well, yeah, it was because it was like you can phase out how long you have it. So I just made sure that at least my first 3 years were fully paid for.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then my last year, I was like, okay, I have to owe like a couple $1,000s here, $1,000, or pay for books and stuff. So
yeah.
And then grad expenses too were insane. The money it costs just to prepare for graduation.
You have to pay for your diploma.
Why am I paying for the gown?
Bro, I'm only wearing this one.
I promise.
I'm like, who can I hand me down this to? Nobody. Like
Kayla's about to get mine. I said, girl.
Makes sense. But yeah. Moms, what about you? What's the hardest part about living alone?
Yeah, I said the same thing. Like the loneliness of just coming home, especially if you come from a bigger family and you're just used to coming home and there being commotion.
Sound.
Noise.
Yeah.
I miss noise. Like I would literally just turn on the TV just to have background noise.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's playing half the time, but I'll either play like music or I'll just have my TV going just because I like to hear like just like things happening in the background.
Yeah.
It's already loud by my apartment, so I guess I really don't need it, but it feels comforting to have that noise in the background. Yeah. So that one's really hard. And especially like if you're living alone for the first time and this is your first time paying for all of your own expenses by yourself. That shock of realizing like, wow, if I really don't budget accordingly, I dead ass won't have money to eat. And I get paid monthly.
Yeah.
I get paid once a month on the top of the month. I hate it. I literally hate it because I'm like, I really have to like really be strategic about everything. Like the first 2 weeks, I'm like, no, I really got to like buckle down because I don't know what the last 2 weeks gonna bring. Like, it's just so hard to really budget if you get paid monthly, guys. Like it's It was to the point I was looking up like services like through Chase or like my bank where they'll hold my check and give me the other half 2 weeks later.
Did you find one?
No, they don't do that.
Okay.
But I was like, this
good.
is so sick. So yeah, I'd say the main thing though is the loneliness. I feel like if you live alone, it's kind of hard to say like, oh, like, you know, just love yourself and, you know, just spend more time by yourself. And that's how you'll get over the loneliness. Like nothing really cures loneliness, honestly.
At all.
Besides companionship.
Yeah, unless you get a dog. But then even that's
a bill.
That's a bill.
That's a
Oh my! Especially if you adopt, and then like let's say they're 7 or 8, they have pre-existing conditions. I'm saying this because I know Sydney does not have pet insurance because that baby's too old and she has too many pre-existing conditions, and that baby's breath smells so bad. But her teeth,
nuts. No, I know the Maltese breath be kicking.
oh my!
I don't know what it is about them little white crusty dogs.
I'd be like, Sydney, get down. I'm stressed about work and your breast stank.
Oh God,
I can't
sit down.
Get off my lap because
There's been a few times Marley got a little pat.
that.
Get your ass.
Get down. Speaking of, I know this is not on topic, but Dammy I don't know if it's because she's old or what, but she's just been peeing everywhere. Like just peeing.
Just pissing.
And no, literally, and like Dammy has like talking on the game, like, hey, like how can I discipline my dog? Talking about some rub the on the game?
What? On a head?
Are they vets?
Right.
So he's like,
PETA?
they're like, no, literally, rub her face in the pee. And I'm like, bro, but that means
Oh, no, that works.
exactly, but we have to give her a bath every single time. So
Oh.
yeah.
No, Marley got my dad would be like, sniff that. You smell that? I don't know how my dad got in charge of training the dog, but bro, anytime I come home, he like, you smell that? I smell it too.
No, Dammy's literally about to present to in front of his whole company, okay? Sydney looks at him dead in his face and pees right next to him. And he's like,
Crazy.
I'm literally one-on-one with my manager. Sydney! I'm like, what did she do? And he's like, I discipline her, so she's always scared of me, and she doesn't really want to hang out with me, so you need to start disciplining her.
Not hanging out.
I'm like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, I give her whoopings all the time. You need to start giving whoopings. I'm like,
give her whoopings.
I don't want to give my baby no whoopings. Like, this is my baby. And he's like, well, she's scared of me and it needs to be equal. So he's like, that's up to you. And I'm literally refreshing my hair. I look down. I'm like, why is it wet?
No.
You're going to hang out with me and pee?
You can't have both.
Oh, I said, Sydney Ann, cut it. I was hot.
Oh God. When you start using that middle name, we'd be like, Marley Gigi Thompson. Like, why is that girl's middle name Gigi?
Why does that baby have a middle name? Honestly,
Oh, God.
but honestly, our whole lineage, all the women have Ann, so like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Sydney Ann.
You know that too? That's how it's like, black people.
That's
Why do we give our dogs middle names?
and a last name, bro.
And a
like,
last name.
And I'm like, you don't do that. I'm like, I'm sorry, mama, but you can't be peeing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know you're old, but you can't be peeing like that,
Did
mama.
she used to
Like,
pee when she was younger?
bro, no. She started doing this when she got to Colorado.
Oh.
I don't know what. If you're
See.
new here, we got a dog. My mom got divorced and was like, I don't want no kids. I don't want no dog. Somebody take this baby. So we took her during Christmas, and also update, my mom is now a truck driver.
Hey.
Yeah. And honestly, we by the time this comes out, she'll already have it. But she graduated and everything, and her name is First Lady CDL because she's a pastor. So
Period.
yeah, so we got her some trucker hats that says First Lady CDL in a whole bunch of different fonts and colors, and like she got to sleep in the truck, and like
Get accustomed.
she got to sleep in there, and she was like, it is so dirty, I had to deep clean it.
Oh.
Yes, I was like, they didn't clean it for you, and she's like, no, and I was like, I'm so sorry, mom. She's like, oh, I got my cleaning stuff. I was like, oh,
Period.
okay, and she's like, yeah, I had to get a Planet Fitness membership because that's where all the clean showers are. I said, wow, the more you
this is a
know.
lifestyle.
No, literally, but she's literally like, my mom has always been this executive admin or executive assistant at all the companies she's been in, from like my grandpa's church on to like Fortune 500, and she's never really like had a drive, but like she's good at it. But now she's like, I will be tired, but as soon as I get in that seat, I'm energized, and I'm like, for a job to energize.
She found her like drive.
Bro, I don't know if I said this, but my mom, literally when I was 2001, my mom signed up to do the program.
Yeah.
But she had kids, like she couldn't do it. She didn't have any support. Literally 23 years later, they're like, oh, you already signed up, but you signed up in 2001. You've been wanting to do this for basically the whole 21st century.
Yeah.
And she was like,
21st century is crazy.
Crazy. But I mean, that's literally, oh no, yeah. Like, bro, I was just like, wow. Like my mom, like she's sending us pictures. She's doing TikToks. Like she's like, the day of my life at a truck driver. Like, it's just so like, I've never seen my mom this happy.
Yeah.
Throughout all her husbands, throughout, and like obviously our accomplishments and stuff. But for her, outside of her kids, this is the first time I've seen her happy.
And she's doing it for her.
For her. Nobody else.
Period.
Yes, bro. Charity.
First lady CDL.
Yeah. So, but let's get back into the topics. Let's see.
Where are we at?
Yes.
Hardest parts.
Yes.
Damn, we be going on tangents.
No, girl.
Yeah, so the loneliness. And another thing that I wanted to say about the hardest part is that I now have a personal rule that I will tell people. If you're about to move to a new city and live alone for the first time at least. Yeah. Do not get into a relationship until after your first year. Bro, take it from me, because I did it. I did that. And I would not do that again, because you will start putting your loneliness into trying to use that person as kind of like the outlet. And I realized that, and I told him that. I was like, we have to break up because, for one, there's other things going on. And two, I feel like I'm escaping the loneliness and trying to avoid the process of living alone, having to deal with me just being alone by being with you.
And having you over.
Because it's like, oh, well, I'm not actually alone because he's over all the time. Yeah. Like that really, I think, kind of stunts you in a way, because let's say I did stay with him. Technically, I wouldn't have never lived alone truly. Yeah. If I'm seeing you every single day, if you're here all the time. Facts. And I'm like, oh, I live alone. I truly don't live alone, because I'm never spending time with just Asia. Mm-hmm. So I would really say, like, if you are going to move to a new city, do not get into a relationship. Now, had I known that, I wouldn't have. I probably would have postponed, getting into a relationship, but it just kind of happened.
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
That's really it.
And really, like, if you are thinking about being in a relationship, like, ask yourself, do I want to be with this person because they fill a void and I need companionship? Am I just lonely? Because if that's the case, you need to do a little bit more self-work. Yeah. And figure out what it is that's like triggering that, or figure out a way that you can solve your own loneliness. That way you feel you can be alone and not lonely.
Yeah. Which is very hard.
Very, very hard. Like, that's what I'm working on now. But I feel like I feel much better about it now that I'm doing it by myself completely. And I feel like I'm really, truly like proud of myself because I'm able to do it alone.
Oh, facts. Because it's literally a very hard process. Like, coming home from work and being like, what do I do now?
Yeah. Or just self-soothing. Like, if I'm upset, no one's there to make me feel better.
Bro, that journal, I'll be like,
man, hand hurting.
I'll be like, okay, back to
Not even just that. It's like, okay, like, why am I upset? There's no one to like peep what my emotions are. Like, oh, are you okay? Mm-hmm. No, like, I have to check myself and be like, Denasia, why are you upset, and work on that.
And it's hard because I'm like, am I upset because they did this? Or am I upset because this is how I'm acting? Because I'm trying to work on my attitude. Like, it's really hard. Like, my sister kind of made me mad, and I was just like, I know it's not her fault that I'm feeling this way. So let me figure out, get to the root of the cause. And I'm like, at the end of the day, adults forget. My sister is an adult. She is. I went to her house Easter weekend. She never naps. Like, she's always doing stuff. I'm like, I also would forget. Like. Yeah. I'm not going to take it out on you. And realistically, I was like, I brought it up to her. I was like, why do you do that? And she's like, that's on me, but let's go get sushi. And I was like, yeah, that's a sister makeup, realistically. Right. But it was just like really getting down to, why am I irritated? Yeah. Because I realized I get irritated really quickly.
Right. And noticing what those triggers are too. Like, if I'm coming home and I'm stressed and I'm like, why do I feel stressed? Or like, what's stressing me out? Or if I'm upset about something that happened during like work or like the day, I'm like, why am I even allowing that to disrupt my day?
Yeah. It's just
like, it was a 5-second moment.
But it's
sitting with me the whole day.
Yeah. And I'm like life's too short.
Right. But I think when you have somebody that you come home to, or you have someone that you live with, it's a little bit easier to distract yourself. Because it's like, oh, I don't have to think about it. But when I come home by myself, it's still on my mind. So I have to face it.
Unfortunately.
So, yeah, I feel like that's the hard part about living alone. But it is really good, because now I feel like if I get into a relationship and I've lived alone and I've like been alone by myself and I'm okay with that, I'm not bringing my problems onto them either. Like, I know how to deal with them alone first and then bring it to them. Yeah. Versus like kind of dumping it on them when they don't really expect it.
Yeah. But I feel like also with having a partner is kind of like, you're my person for us. Like, I'm telling you my problems. How you think I should fix it? I don't really like that one, but I will take that answer. Yeah. And then vice versa. It really a soundboard. But like, realistically, when I was when I was living alone, I would be like, India, am I crazy? Like, honestly, leaning on your girls during living alone. Like, I've been watching Sex and the City, and I'm like, points were made. A little bit. Y'all are crazy. You're having a lot of sex, but points were made. Like your girls are really what I FaceTimes.
Oh
Yeah,
girl, that was my for the next answer. What do you do to kind of like the best part about being alone? Or sorry. What tips do you have to stay busy and not feel so lonely by yourself? Like,
yeah.
For me, it was the fact that like I think this was like months since of living alone. I had called Mia and we were having like a FaceTime catch up, and she was like, "Girl, yeah, I had a hard night last night. I just cried all night." I said, "Me too." She was like, "Why?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just felt really alone and lonely." And she said, "Me too."
Yeah.
And we literally just had like a 2-hour conversation about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, most times you think it's just you, but it really isn't.
It's never.
I
just you.
promise it's never just you.
It's never. You're not. Nobody has a unique experience anymore.
No. Well, there's.
Well,
there might be a couple. Out there.
A few, yeah. But
honestly,
your girls are probably going, especially your girls at around the same age.
And if you guys have gone down the same kind of journey and path together, like I guarantee you feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about that because we were both kind of in situations where it was like we were learning how to be alone and kind of using other things and other people to kind of like supplement that and run away from that problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like now that I know that, next time you feel like that and you call me and I probably feel like that, let's just come over to each other's house. We just have movie night.
Yeah, just honestly, girl time will really revitalize life.
Literally. And that's what we've been
gracious.
doing now. So it's like, yeah, girl, yeah, it's a rough night. Like let's have a charcuterie wine night.
Mm-hmm. And it will really be like life is worth living again.
Literally. And it makes you feel like even though you might be living alone, you're not alone in your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're not alone in like your experiences, which helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. For me, figure out your before and after work routine. Like when I would go into the office, I would literally put on my podcast, The Daily, or one of our podcasts, or Cocktails or Horrible Decisions, and I would just get ready and just have somebody speaking to me. I needed some ambiance. So I would just giggle, or I would put good music on. I'd do my makeup and heat up my Eggos, make eggs in the not the refrigerator, in the microwave, and I would call my Uber and go. Like that was my routine. When I would come back home though, that would be a little bit hard, especially when it got darker really early, because I'm like, all I want to do is sleep.
Yep.
Work drained me. I do not have energy, and don't feel bad for rotting. Everybody does it. You do not have to get off and be like, I got to do this. It's okay to rot.
And I feel like we talked about this in our like routine episode with early entry, where we were like, okay, we need to figure out our 5 to 9 and our 9 to 5 and our after 5. We were trying to get it down to a science.
It's not.
Now that I've lived alone for this long, there is no science to it.
If you're tired, nap. And then
Literally.
Honestly, I like work became so bad this like January through kind of like March, April vibe. I would get off of work at like 4. I would take a nap, thaw the chicken, cook, go back to sleep. Like that's all I had the energy for. And that's okay. Don't make people that are like, I knit, and if you don't have a hobby,
Right.
it'll come to you.
And and also I feel like with me at least, I was like, I use my brain so much today. I don't got no more in me to be having extra things. Even with us filming the podcast, it got to a point where we were both like, I would come on and we would be filming on Riverside, and I'd be like, girl, I don't even have it in me today. Like my brain has been on since 6 a.m. Like it kind of takes away the passion from things that you actually like to do if you're forcing yourself, which is why we kind of moved to this format too, where we're like dedicating time to just like bulk film and knock it out versus doing it weekly after work. But man, like I think that really does say a lot of like what you're able to do after work. And if you're not, that's okay.
Bro, and the thing is, I don't know who I was saying, but I was like, if you actually, let's say even if you work from home, you work from 9 to 6, because 9 to 5s aren't a thing.
Girl. Especially if you got to commute to the office, that I factor that into my time. I actually need to be paid for being on the train.
Oh, no, you do.
Because this is insane.
No, you do. And the thing is, when we started, we were very naive. We didn't have nobody to tell us. So we thought 9 to 5, and if they're asking you to work after 5, like you need to set your boundaries.
That's so hard to do when you are entry level and your boss is telling you you need to knock this out and have it done to me by end of day. End of day now becomes when I shut that laptop.
End of day is before you go to bed. My manager literally was like, I was like, hey, like, when does this due? He's like, just before you go to sleep.
And listen, we were so gung-ho, like, no, set your boundaries, da-da-da-da. But in reality, to be a good worker, to get your work done, sometimes it's going to be late nights. That's just a sacrifice you got to make. If it becomes every night, then that's when you have a problem.
That part.
But it's like, realistically, I think we were just like, no, boundaries.
We didn't know.
But we really didn't know.
You don't know what you don't know. That's really the point of this episode. You really don't know what you don't know. But like, literally my after work routine, I don't got one. I do what I feel is needed to make, like, sometimes I work so hard that the back of my eyes burn. Have you ever had that?
No.
It's maybe you get
but I get headaches.
Yeah.
I will have a raging migraine if I like did too much that day.
The back of my eyes burn. So even though maybe I'm not tired, I have to close my eyes. I have to put my eye mask on and just listen to Bob's Burgers and try to go to sleep.
Girl, or just scroll. Sometimes I'll be like, I just need to lay in bed and scroll on TikTok.
The back of my eyes hurt so bad I can't even do that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I try blue light, like, but if it's just a really hectic week, I have a lot of my brain, like my eyes are going on overtime with 2 screens. I have to nap.
I will say though, sometimes when I get really overwhelmed, I'll find myself doom scrolling. Like, I've never done that. And I don't even know I'm not even watching.
I'm not even investing.
I'm just not even, I'm literally like, it's like when you're reading and your eyes are reading, but your mind ain't reading.
I got to go back. Yeah.
Now I got to flip a couple pages. I don't even know what just happened.
Sometimes
my eyes are just
scroll. You need to Twitter scroll. You need to TikTok scroll. You need to see what everybody doing on their stories. Like, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Like, I feel like a lot of, and this was us before, like a lot of people on podcasts or just life in general are very like, we need to be doing this and we all have the same 24 hours. And like, I get that. I understand. But also, we were not meant to be working like this 40 hours a week.
Supposed to be frolicking in a strawberry field.
I saw some girl, she was like, whatever woman said, women need to be working.
That's what
but I feel like if I wasn't working, I would be bored. So I get
I
get it. And I feel like I needed a higher purpose. So I understand. But also it's like, don't fault yourself for the ways that you cope with the life you have to live. And the fact that you got to work every day.
Everybody got to pay bills.
If you have a hard job, if you cope with that by scrolling or by rotting for a couple hours and going to sleep, don't beat yourself
Don't feel bad. Because that's okay. Just don't plan your nights. Like, you're going to have, at one point in life, a lot of y'all are going to have kids. And you're also not going to be able to plan your night. Or you're going to have to help them with homework.
You're going to have to come home when you could be scrolling.
And cook. And what if the kids didn't take out the chicken?
If 2 + 2, if Johnny has 4 apples, like, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that, bro. And I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not going to lie. I hope my kids someday don't watch this, but
they probably will. Mom! Girl, be quiet.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
And I mean what I said.
No, literally. But
best part?
Yeah, best part about being alone. For me, actually, Mom, before that, you were talking about reworking your internal dialogue.
Oh, yes. So something I've been trying to work on recently is reworking how I talk to myself. Oh, also, I started therapy. I never told you.
Oh, that's new.
I went to, this has been going on for like 6 months.
Well, that's not just starting.
I guess. I had to find a new therapist because I had a therapist and I found her online and she was Black. She was an older Black lady.
That's what you need.
I'm just going to say her name was Margaret.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know what to look for in a therapist.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, I feel like I just need to like work on myself and I needed someone to like bounce up those discussions off of.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I didn't want to bother like my friends and my family with that conversation constantly.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me go ahead and get a therapist. Margaret was an old school Southern lady from Tennessee.
Oh, she don't play. She get down.
She don't play. But it was to the point where like half of the session would be her talking. Like 80% of the session was her talking. And I thought that was normal because I'm like, I'm supposed to be taking all this in. So she was like, make sure you're writing this down, sweetie. And I would just write down everything. I literally have a notebook of everything she said. And I would talk to her about a problem and she'd be like, well, back in the day, I had somebody do this to me and would just go on a full rant about whatever happened in 86.
What?
And I was like, I don't think this is how therapy's supposed to work.
No. At all.
So I went to her for like about 10 sessions and I said, I don't think this is going to work, Margaret, because she spent more time talking to me.
Oh, no.
And everything that she said, it felt like I was kind of telling her because she would tell me her problems. I'd be like, yeah, that's not right. She'd be like, right? I'm like, who's who in this situation? So I said it to say, but one thing she did get right is she told me work on your internal dialogue. How do you talk to yourself? And I realized when it came to like living alone, I would kind of make myself feel guilty if I was doing something in my free time that I feel like I could have been more productive with. And I'd be like, oh, I'm living alone. Like these are my prime years. I should be working on myself. I should be doing X, Y, and Z. And this isn't aligned with my, just very type A, just like nagging yourself. And I just started thinking of like being alone as a privilege too. Bro, it's a privilege. Like we are women that actually get to live on our own, for the first time in like history.
Bro, I literally saw a girl on TikTok was like, we are the first generation in a lot of our lineage to be women to pay and paying all of our own bills without a man and no kids.
Yes, and you have the luxury to choose to do that.
This is not like, oh, this is what I want to do, and I don't need a man for it. And if a man comes, cool, but I don't need a man.
I don't need him for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like once I started thinking about it like that, it really helped me learn how to be alone because I was like, in reality, I'm looking at my apartment and all this is me right here.
I pay for all of it.
I paid for all of this.
Yeah.
I pay for this roof. I pay for everything. And like that, like seeing it as kind of like a, I guess like glass half full type of mindset really helped me too. Cause I was like, I won't be alone forever. And I'm really grateful for these years because like, I just don't really know when that'll end.
Yeah.
And I'll probably look back and be like, damn, I
wish
really
I had my own space.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love having my own space now. Like I love decorating. My whole apartment looks like Denasia just threw up all over it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's literally all my favorite albums on the wall. I got a pink fluffy chair for no reason. Like all those things I feel like really fill me. And yeah, Margaret ate that one little thing.
Only that though.
Just that. Like after that I said, Margaret, this ain't gonna work, baby, because I feel like I'm your therapist at this point.
That's actually sick work.
Yeah.
But moms, what's the best part about being alone?
The best part for me, kind of like what I said, like it's like being in full control of my space. Like I get to come home and do whatever I have free will.
Yeah.
You ever just do something because you got free will?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'd be like, I can just leave this cup out. I can do whatever I want.
Oh, I miss that.
Like I genuinely can do whatever I want. And who gonna say something?
Nobody. It's just you, bro.
Literally, I pay these bills.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to say that.
Okay, bro. Literally.
My mom was like, when you leave here, you pay your bills, you can do whatever you want. And I'm in that era right now, and it feels so good.
It felt amazing. Right now, I think for me, when I was living by myself, before when I was living with my mom and my siblings, one of my sisters does not like us being naked. To me and my other sister, we are totally fine with being naked. But she's like, put your boobs away. Like she hates us being naked. Like, girl,
my family don't do naked either.
I don't know. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Mom's like, but when you get your own house, you can be naked. Girl, say less. I loved being naked in my own house. Like I just love close them blinds and call it a day.
Yeah.
Make sure you close them blinds.
Please.
And the little camera on your laptop, they be like, they probably looking at you right now. Who's that?
Free shows.
He literally is like, click. And I'm like, damn it, nobody looking at me.
They watching.
Nobody's watching me, but he's like, you never know.
No,
okay.
but that's true though. Like there's been times where like in my apartment, right, there's like a long hallway and there's a vent. And I remember one day I walked by and I saw like a light, like a red light in there. And I said, is there a camera in that? You know how many times I've opened my door naked to get my freaking DoorDash?
What? How many?
I'm like every time. I'm like, wait a minute. Cause now I'm like, cause you know my doorman. I'm like, who got that camera in there?
He a little
Yeah. But yeah. So just be careful. And I guess we can touch about that too.
Yeah.
Like safety living alone.
Bro. It's very, very hard. I feel like because you also don't know what you don't know. Like for me, I kind of struggled locking my door.
Me too.
It's hard.
Mine luckily auto locks.
Yeah.
But like putting all the locks, my mom, whenever she calls me, she'd be like, you locked up? And I'd be like,
let me get up. Let me double check. Like,
right.
yeah. But locking my doors very like also like I never bought like bear mace or like a taser or nothing like that. But I do think in the chat in our Type A Black Girls group me chat, it's in our link tree. The girlies were talking about like how can we be safe?
Yeah.
Just being on the streets, being in house, and I definitely probably could have taken more precautions, but I felt safe in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
but there's that thing where like you have a Ring camera.
Yes, I do.
I do think that's very smart.
That helps a lot. I remember one day I was gone at work and my Ring camera went off and my heart sunk. I was like, like there's nothing in my apartment that moves. Apparently it was just like whatever way the wind, the air conditioning was blowing, like something flew.
Oh,
but still, like
that's scary.
Having that, I mean, it is a scary feeling, but like just knowing that you have that protection is really good. I was supposed to get a gun, girl. I don't know when I'm gonna get
Bro,
one.
I'm not gonna hold you. So mom's talked about this in the very glanced over it. But Denasia had got hit in the head with a golf club. And this
is gonna be completely discussed. That sounds like assault. It wasn't assault.
It wasn't assault. It was an
accident, but I did get my head freaking bashed in. And I had to get staples. We will unpack that in a later episode.
We'll unpack it. But in my head, because she didn't put Top Golf in the group chat, in the text, I think it was your friend texting, I literally was like, and all the girls were getting punched in New York. Mind you, they were white women.
This is the week that everyone was getting punched in the head.
Everybody, I was like, I'm literally having a panic attack before work. I'm like, damn me, Denasia just got hit in the head with a golf club on the side of the street. And
it's the fact that she just added side of the street in there. Like, I literally had to tell her, okay, so the girls were probably like, what the hell is going on? For context, we were supposed to film. This was like almost a month ago.
Yeah.
We were supposed to film and I got hit in the head and a lot was going on. And I had told her, I just was like, hey, mom, I can't film today. Got hit in the head with a golf club.
Yeah.
So that was the text she got. And in her head, she'd been seeing people on TikTok get hit in the head, just get punched in general. And she just assumed this happened on the street.
I was like, I gotta learn Taekwondo. Like, I'm about to go to New York.
I'm like, girl. She talk about we gonna spend more money on Ubers because we can't be walking. I said, girl.
I was and y'all know I love a good budget. I'm like, I gotta spend so much money on Uber so I don't gotta get hit in the head with a golf club. Like, I was so freaking stressed out. But back to the gun, I was like, I gotta get gun certified. Like, and I'm very serious. Like, even though it was Top Golf, I was like, these girls are getting punched in the head. And
no. Like, anytime I open the Citizens app, it's like man with samurai sword on the loose. Please report. I'm so dead ass.
Samurai?
Girl. There was a man going around like cutting women's ankles when they were going up the stairs on the subway. This was like last year.
What?
Yes.
How do people think of this?
Creative.
It's literally the Purge here.
Oh, God. Daily. It's Gotham City. But yeah, no, like that happened. And yeah, no, but I've been saying I need to get a gun for the longest.
And Mr. Marr was saying, shoot through the tabby.
Yeah, and I said, we not shooting through my tabby.
$400 purse. Like, I'm not doing that. But
no, I'll take it out the tabby.
Yeah, but I do think all women should go to the gun range at least once just to kind of hear how a gun sounds because it's not fun.
And practice holding it because the kickback on that thing.
Oh my gosh.
Like, they make it look a lot easier in the movies. I'm thinking it's going to be like this whole time.
No, and then nobody tells you the freaking bullets after it shoots can pop you in the head and it's hot.
Yes.
Yes. Nobody, the movies don't tell you this, so this is why we had this podcast.
And it's so loud.
It's so I'm
thinking, I don't know why I thought my little pink Glock would have a silencer. Like, I don't know why I thought that. But yeah, no, you have to just really get familiar with that stuff. And if you're not going to do that, keep that taser on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do whatever you need to do to be safe, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard out here. But also to that point, making sure you're locking your doors and making sure if you're going out alone that at least someone has your location.
Oh, my friend.
Always.
My location.
Always.
Hey, I'm about to leave. Hey, I made it. Like, it's really needed. And I know it's hard making friends in general, but if you can try to make a friend in your apartment complex, like, let's say you go on vacation. Hey, can you make sure you just, like, watch my apartment? Just check on it. Like, here's a spare key. Like, I think that's really needed. Like, when I would leave, India would be like, oh, yeah, if you need anything, I could just go. Yeah. But, and vice versa. Like, it's very needed, but you don't know until you know vibes.
Yeah,
it really is. I think also another best part about being alone, I know, I think we just kind of glanced over this a little bit, but being on my own washing and drying routine, you don't realize what you enjoy really alone until you move into with somebody else. Dammy washes clothes like it's an Olympic sport.
Daily?
Yes.
Like a load a day?
If not more. Like, he'll just, the washing machine's always going. And I fold clothes and I'm just like, there's a mountain.
Folding is the worst.
I hate it. But then he doesn't trust. I lost my privileges of washing the clothes because I would leave the clothes in the washer and then they would get mildew and
stinking.
Exactly. And he's like, no, my clothes can't be. He really prides himself on like smelling good. And he's like, you're mildewing all my clothes and you're shrinking them. So I literally would be like, is that a crop top? And he's like, no, you shrunk it. I'm like,
crop top is crazy.
No, I would dry it on high. But the thing is, like, all my stuff can be dried on high and be fine. Like, it's literally, like, I'm not really tripping. He's like, no, like, you have to do it on.
He said, we need to hang this up.
Very particular. And I'm like,
no, I get that. Half of my stuff has to be hung up. And when I be looking at the label, I'll be like, bruh.
Oh.
And don't let it say dry clean. It's just never getting clean.
It's not getting clean. Hang it up. We'll try again in a few months.
Oh, God.
I'm not taking
I don't have a dry cleaner near me. So where am I taking
they're
that?
expensive. Dry cleaners are very expensive.
Washers in general. That comforter that he was on, that be shedding.
Yeah.
I took it to the cleaners. What was it, $70 to get it cleaned and have it dropped back off my apartment?
Does it not fit?
No, it's just I had to take it so many times because it keeps on shedding.
Oh, yeah, bad.
Girl, y'all, I got a comforter set from Bob's Discount Furniture. I got a bone to pick with them because why is it shedding like a dog? She literally had to get a lint roller for these black pants.
I didn't even lay. I'm literally, my earrings are on the bed. I'm like over the bed. I look down. It was like a shaggy dog just went ham on my freaking pants.
No, literally. It's like I will put my hand on it and grab it and all the fur off it will just come off.
It's a pretty
beautiful
comforter. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because UGG stopped selling comforters. Get on your Zoom, bro. So yeah, well, how do we get to that?
Beats me. But moms, what are some good solo date ideas?
For me, what I like to do, and I started doing this because my office is now requiring us to go in like 2 Fridays a month. Sick work. But I said, okay, after I go in that Friday, I can just use the rest of the day to explore. So I'll just take myself on an adventure day. I'll choose a random street in New York and just explore that street.
Oh, love.
Because it's like there's so much to explore on just literally one street.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I started doing that on the weekends, trying to at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I took myself to Tulip Day too. There was the first ever Tulip Day in New York.
Oh wow!
And they were just giving away like free tulips. It was nicest day I've ever seen in New York. People were smiling, picking flowers. You want this one? Like everyone was so kind.
Yeah, it's not Gotham City anymore.
Not. It was
at least for a day.
Well, just in that area.
Yeah.
Union Square was safe.
Oh.
Besides that, everywhere else, I don't know.
But
yeah, so I started doing adventure days because I was like, okay, realistically, if you are lonely, what's running through your head is like, oh, I wish I had somebody to do blank with.
Yeah.
I wish I had somebody I could just go on a trip with. I wish I had somebody I could just go shopping with, like on this day. And of course you have friends, but they, everyone has their own lives.
Exactly.
Someone I could just call up and we just go do this, which I usually do with my friends, but sometimes schedules don't align.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started taking whatever I wanted to do with somebody else and just doing it with myself.
Yeah. That definitely makes sense.
Like,
yeah, for me, my solo dates are naps. I'm not going to hold you. When I was living by myself, I was just like, we're going to nap, we're going to order some food, and we're going to watch a rom-com. Like that. I like inside dates because when you step foot outside, you spend $100.
Oh, easily.
That's just the rule of being an adult. But for me, I've started making, and this is also now just living in Denver, but wherever you're at, TikTok knows, and it's going to start feeding you like things to do in Charlotte, restaurants in Charlotte, things like that if you live in Charlotte. And for me, I've started making folders on TikTok to like midweek Denver. Where can I go midweek to chop up the week? That's really for me what like is top of mind. How can I not just look forward to Friday? And I know we said this in the beginning, don't look forward to Friday, have something. It's hard to do that when you're not even enjoying life because majority of your life is spent work.
Your whole week is work.
That's just
right.
Like,
and then trying to do things after work, it's like, I'm so tired. I don't even want to go out and do what I said I was going to do.
I don't even want to put an outfit. I don't want to put no clothes on. I don't want to do nothing. I want to get out of these clothes
and go to sleep.
Lay it down.
Yeah.
Like that's really it. But yeah, like when you have time, which is honestly, even if it's once a month, because I know it outside is very expensive, pick something out of that folder that you made on TikTok that looks fun to do, whether it's pottery, whether it's just a really bomb margarita and taco place. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just get your Kindle, or because I know it's really hard to like eat and just like not scroll. Go somewhere and just get those tacos and margaritas and have a little fun.
I will say though, if you are in your reading area like we are, some places, some cities I've been seeing have like reading clubs, and I went to one here, and it was so cute. Like it was just everyone solo dating. It was like a little like coffee bar area, and then you could just go get coffee, and then everyone's just sitting in their little nooks like reading books. So it was a very safe place to say. I would say even if you're not reading, if you're just there on a laptop or something, like a really cute place to start off just doing a solo date. Because that was really cute. And I didn't feel awkward because everyone is there for the same reason.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Reading has been that girl, but I've really been loving spicy books. I love spicy books.
Y'all know I've been a spicy book girl since 2012.
Okay.
Since Wattpad.
Wattpad, okay. I
eating that
just
up.
got into the top spicy book right now for you.
Icebreaker. It's not even really that. I've read spicier, but it's fulfilling the like rom-com era that I'm looking for. So
I see.
It does the job.
I see. For me, it's Tempted. I haven't finished it, but that junk was crazy. Also, Icebreaker. It's a little bit, goodness gracious, but it's fun. So,
it's really fun.
It's really
It's
fun.
so good. I almost bought a book sleeve because I'd be reading.
I don't want y'all to know what I'm reading.
No, here's the thing. I'll be reading on the train sometimes. And somebody will stop and be like, I love that book. I'm like, bruh, now they think I'm a freak, they a freak. It's just not, it's not looking good. So I bought a little book sleeve.
Yeah.
So I don't have to have that embarrassment. Or I'll just try to read on my phone, but I just like to hold the actual book.
Yeah, no, I'll go on my Kindle. Kindle Unlimited has some really good spicy books.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I think it's like $12 every single month. And it has some really nice, you don't have to like, if you can read on a Kindle.
Yeah.
If you need physical, you gotta spend a little bit of money. But yeah, that Kindle Unlimited, Tempted or Temptation by Isla Cox, that's that girl. And I like when I can put myself in the lady's shoes.
And sometimes there's issues with some books where it's like Colleen Hoover's books are just a little too white for me. But for me personally, I automatically default all the characters to black. So it don't matter what the description is. If it's he's blonde hair, blue eyes, he got waves. I know.
Locks. Yeah. No, okay, that definitely makes sense. I don't do that, but also I think I haven't read no more than 5 spicy books. So okay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. I don't care what them characters look like. I care about the dialogue.
No, I'm not gonna hold you. Icebreaker, that junk. I was like, first of all, the girl was a plus size white woman. So I was like, this isn't me at all. And the premise, listen, okay, the premise, okay, I'm gonna put y'all on, okay? And you can make her black if you want to. But basically, goes to the airport. She meets this guy and she thinks it's a famous hockey player, but it's his brother. Yep. So she's like, okay, well, but she doesn't know. So he's like, oh, our flight's canceled. Do you want to come home with me? And they're flirting. And she's like, oh my gosh, this is a famous hockey player. Da, da, da.
Oh, I just love stuff like
bro,
this.
It gets straight to the point. And I like where it's his point of view, her point of view.
I love that. I eat it up. In fact, I would actually prefer a romance book all from a guy's perspective.
Really?
I would read that. I totally would. I love hearing the guy. But I do want to hear the girl's perspective, but I just feel like I rarely, maybe it's because I don't see it often. I don't know. I don't hear guys be talking about falling in love.
No, exactly.
They don't ever be vocal about it. I want to see you kicking up your feet being giddy.
Yes. I want you to be mad that I'm with another man because you did something wrong. I really enjoy that. But they get into a car with the guy's roommate. Turns out he's bi, and they get to the house. They was having a time. I was like, damn, he's like, you reading that raunchy book. Yes, and I'm having fun.
I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great freaking time. You go play them video games and you will not have to hear from me.
Promise.
I'll
be locked in.
I'll be like, oh, and what's next?
Girl, I went back and I have my Wattpad account on my phone still.
Oh, wow.
To this day. And I went back one day. I was like, I wonder what I was reading. I went back and read a little bit of After because that kind of kicked it off.
I've never read After.
Girl, I said there's no way I was reading this. There's literally, and I think I talked about this last season, how my parents confiscated my phone, was reading my Kik messages and stuff. They shouldn't have read, they should have read what I was reading on Wattpad. That for sure would have.
Oh, Mama Tom.
Did I ever talk about how I tried to start my own Wattpad?
No. You know what? That's gonna have to be another episode. Because
no. That was a whole. Yeah, I wrote a fanfic. And I put it out, and my parents I don't know why they was always taking my phone, but they read it, and they read the first chapter. They was like, who do you think your audience is?
Bro, do you still have it?
No, I deleted it.
Oh, okay.
They made me clear it off all platforms. But the worst part is I was kind of getting some traction.
Sick.
And I'm like, I could have been a New York Times bestseller by now. Y'all stopping the grind.
Yeah. Would you guys read a Type A fanfic?
What would that be about?
Sorry, it's a Type A spicy book. That would be so fun.
I'm like, Type A fanfic about who?
Points are made.
Type A, bro. We co-wrote one.
That would be fun.
Crazy.
We can like write it off.
Oh God, we could do a whole Bridgerton series. Yeah, that type vibe. Eight books.
It was kind of crazy. I'm not going to. We would put under a pseudonym because I don't know.
Right? No, literally.
Look us up, and you're reading.
That's giving Verity vibes.
Engorged, like
with the fake name.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
freaking.
Oh my God, Silent Patient. Oh, if you are looking for a book to get you out of your reading funk, Silent Patient. I promise you,
Verity level.
I would say it's not. It doesn't go as fast as Verity. We're like, oh my God, it's back to back. But that ending beats Verity by a long shot.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Quick synopsis: this woman shoots her husband in the face 5 times. That's how it opens.
Ooh.
And a psychiatrist, she's at a mental hospital because ever since it happened, she's been dead silent. She ain't said a word in months.
Oh, silent. Okay.
Silent.
Yeah.
She ain't yapped at all. So the psychiatrist, it's from his perspective, and he's like, I'm determined to make her speak. Like, I have a fascination with this case. Like, I want to go to the hospital and make her speak.
Yeah.
So it's all about him trying to figure out what happened and why she's not talking. And that's all I can say.
She's good.
Oh,
that's
and it was written by a man.
Oh,
white man. Yeah. Or, okay. Anywho, but yeah, getting your reading back, and let us know if you guys have any like recommendations, especially for ones that kind of grab your attention, because I feel like I've read Verity and now Silent Patient that kind of set the bar really high for like shock value.
Yeah.
So if you have really good shock value books, please send them our way.
Yeah. But
yeah,
that's
all the questions we have for today, guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching the first episode of season 9 of Type A Black Girls, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Bye.